My name is Narendra Kumar and we are from NRK Academy. And today we have great quotes of famous stories, and this is a series. And our first economist, we have actually the great quotes of famous economists, and our first economist today is great quotes of Adam Smith. So let's start with the first quotation of Adam Smith. The great source of both the misery and disorders of human life seems to arise from overrating the difference between one permanent situation and another. Avarice, which means greed, overrates the difference between poverty and riches. Ambition, that between a private and a public station. Vainglory, vanity, that between obscurity and extensive reputation. The person under the influence of any of those extravagant passions is not only miserable in his actual situation, but is often disposed to disturb the peace of society in order to arrive at that which he so foolishly admires. The slightest observation, however, might satisfy him that in all the ordinary situations of human life, a well-disposed mind may be equally calm, equally cheerful, and equally contented. Some of those situations may, no doubt, deserve to be preferred to others, but none of them can deserve to be pursued with that passionate ardour, which is intensity, which drives us to violate the rules either of prudence or of justice, or to corrupt the future tranquillity of our minds, either by shame from the remembrance of our own folly, or by remorse from the horror of our own injustice. And that is a very powerful quotation. The next quotation. Civil government, so far as it is instituted for the security of property, is in reality instituted for the defense of the rich against the poor, or of those who have some property against those who have none at all. Science is the great antidote to the poison of enthusiasm and superstition. How beautiful that is. Science is the great antidote to the poison of enthusiasm and superstition. The first thing you have to know is yourself. A man who knows himself can step outside himself and watch his own reactions like an observer. How deep he is he? First thing you have to know is yourself, and a man who knows himself, only such a man can step outside himself and watch his own reactions like an observer. It is not from the benevolence of the butcher or the brewer or the baker that we expect our dinner, but from their regard to their own self-interest. We address ourselves not to their humanity, but to their self-love, and never talk to them of our own necessities, but of their advantages. That's economics. Never complain of that of which it is at all times in your power to rid yourself. Simple. Never complain of that of which it is at all times in your power to rid yourself. To rid yourself is to get rid of those problems. The man whose whole life is spent in performing a few simple operations, of which the effects are perhaps always the same or very nearly the same, has no occasion to exert his understanding or to exercise his invention in finding out expedients for removing difficulties which never occur. He naturally loses, therefore, the habit of such exertion, and generally becomes as stupid and ignorant as it is possible for a human creature to become. So this is very powerful quotation about how you become mechanical. Mercy to the guilty. Mercy to the guilty is cruelty to the innocent. Very great quotation. No society can surely be flourishing and happy, of which by far the greater part of the numbers are poor and miserable. In regards to the price of commodities, the rise of wages operates as simple interest does. The rise of profit operates like compound interest. This is powerful. Our merchants and masters complain much of the bad effects of high wages in raising the price and lessening the sale of goods. They say nothing concerning the bad effects of high profits. They are silent with regard to the pernicious, very cruel effects of their own gains. They complain only of those of other people. And that completes this extraordinary, wonderful set of quotations of Adam Smith. Thank you.